2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Oh man, I miss the space shuttle.
I know.
So do I.
It was so cool. Our next guest took 2 wild rides into outer space. He actually spent 23 days, 19 hours, and 48 minutes up there. Mike Massimino, originally from Oceanside, Long Island.
Thank you for
And he's a great guy. He's also got a big brain, a doctorate from MIT. And there he is, our favorite astronaut, Mike Massimino. Welcome back to Good Day New York. How are you?
Thanks, Greg. It's great to see you.
How are things
Rosanna,
on,
great to see you.
How are things on Earth for you? Are you okay with things?
It's all right, yeah. I actually am no longer with NASA officially anymore. I mean, you're always kind of an astronaut.
You could have fooled us with that jacket you got
I know,
on.
they let me keep my clothes, though. If
So
you,
what are you
if you
doing?
wear them enough, you stink them up, they let you keep them. I'm teaching up at Columbia. I'm a professor up there in mechanical engineering, so I'm enjoying that, and also doing a little work with the Intrepid Museum.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about the Intrepid in a second.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. When you come back to Earth, does everything else seem boring?
It's in some ways, yeah, but you know, it's also our home. You know, so it's good to come home and see your family and friends again. But yes, I do miss the camaraderie, the fun of training and the flying.
And weightlessness?
Weightlessness is pretty cool. It's a great way to get around. You don't have to worry about step ladders. You know,
But does
I'm
it
trying
get
to reach a light bulb the other day, and it just, you know, just a few. I was like, gee, I could just float right up there. It'd be no problem. I had to go get a ladder.
It doesn't get annoying sometimes, though, like in zero gravity. You know, you're just trying to hang out, and there you are floating around upside down.
What, the zero gravity get annoying?
Yeah.
Or the Earth, the 1G?
No, the zero.
Gravity does not ever get annoying. No. I mean, and especially once you get used to it. At first, you might feel a little funny. You might lose things. It's very easy to lose things. You got to be careful with your stuff because everything floats. Not only you, but everything floats. But other than that, it's a pretty good deal.
What's the biggest surprise for 2 people who haven't been to outer space? What will we be most surprised about the space flight experience that maybe hasn't been publicized very much?
Well, it's been publicized, but I still think you'd be surprised by it, and that's just looking out that window and seeing what you see of the Earth and the universe around you. Seeing 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets in a 24-hour period. Just the whole experience of being there and looking out the window. No matter how I could, if you were going to go, I would try to prepare you as much as I could to tell you these cool stories. But once you see it yourself, you'd be like, holy cow!
Wow.
I think that's even though you see these photos, there's nothing to really prepare you for.
Tell us about the new exhibit at the Intrepid Air and Space
So
Museum.
this is really cool. You can find out about it at intrepidmuseum.org. I get that right? Okay, intrepidmuseum.org. We've got a couple things going on. There's the Hubble at 25. So the Hubble Space Telescope will be celebrating its 25th anniversary in space this spring. And in preparation for that, there's this exhibit at the Intrepid, which I find really cool. There's a lot of our stuff that we used in space there. There's some items we flew, tools that we used in space are on display. Some pictures of our training, movies of our training are there. We have some items that we took. A home plate from Shea Stadium that I flew for the Mets is there, along with a basketball that Edwin Hubble used at the University of Chicago. So there's some fun items there, but it's very intimate and personal. We're also going to have a reunion of our crew, which we're excited about, on November the 12th. Tickets are available on our website as well. Charlie Gibson, ABC News anchor, is going to be the moderator, and my crew will be there. It's kind of to talk about our experiences and a bit of a reunion for us.
Sounds great. Now let me ask you this: could you get email in space? Did they have email? You did.
Yeah, I mean, when I was there, we got email syncs twice a day when I was there. Now it kind of goes up and down, a little slow, but it goes up and
With the guys
right
back
away.
in Mission Control, like, were they your boss? Did they tell you what to do and stuff like that?
They would. I would ignore those. Usually you use email more to communicate like personal things. Like, too bad we didn't know each other better back then, because we could have emailed each other. But I had friends tell me like baseball scores, and my kids were complaining or whatever. They could do that via email. That's what we use. A lot of it was for personal stuff.
But
Usually
you
the business
tweeted.
stuff comes up,
You
officially.
tweeted from.
I did. I was the first person to tweet from space. So yeah, I got to do that too. So now all the astronauts tweet. We have 2 astronauts up there now. 2 Navy guys are up there now.
2 Navy guys in the International Space Station.
Yep.
Let's go to that space shuttle footage one more time. How much does it break your heart that we can't get Americans into space via an American spacecraft? We can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it kind of does, but I think that's only going to be a temporary problem, because recently NASA selected 2 companies, SpaceX and Boeing, are going to be, and there's other companies, Sierra Nevada and some other companies that are trying to get astronauts at the International Space Station. So I think within a couple of years we're going to be launching from the United States again, with people flying back and forth to the space station. Right now we're dependent on the Russians to do that. It's not the best situation, but I think that's only going to be temporary.
Well, we're happy that you're back here in New York
So am
City,
I.
and we're going to put the information to how people can come see you.
Yeah, I
at
think
the
it's great.
Intrepid,
It's
right?
great. Yeah, it's a really good exhibit. I think you guys would enjoy it. You came and saw our movie, I remember, Greg.
I sure
when we
did. It's
when we had
spectacular.
that was a few years ago.
We got
But
more.
this is a good thing.
We got more space questions for you after the break. Like,
Cool.
how do you do certain things in orbit?
Oh.
Yes. The
We
kind
have
of
more-
yes.
The stuff I want to know.
Exactly.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
We'll be
Dying to
right
know.
back. We'll be